The USA considering renaming Iran war "SledgeHammer" if ceasefire collapses. The US military is considering officially renaming the war with Iran "Operation SledgeHammer" if the current ceasefire collapses and President Donald Trump decides to restart major combat operations, according to two US officials. The discussions about possibly replacing Operation Epic Fury with Operation SledgeHammer underscore how seriously the administration is considering resuming the war started on February 28, and could allow Trump to argue that it restarts the 60-day clock that requires congressional authorization for war. The Trump administration declared an end to Operation Epic Fury after the US and Iran agreed to a ceasefire in early April to pursue diplomatic negotiations. At the time, the administration informed Congress that hostilities with Iran had terminated, but the Pentagon has continued to describe the conflict with Iran as Operation Epic Fury, including when providing public updates. One Pentagon official said that "Epic Fury" continues and that the ceasefire simply has paused major combat operations. A spokesperson for the Pentagon directed inquiries to the White House. The White House didn't respond to a request for comment. Any new military combat operations against Iran would be conducted under a new name, an operation, a White House official familiar with the discussions said. And from the administration's point of view, this would effectively restart the clock with Congress. Operation SledgeHammer is not the only name under consideration, according to the US officials. Secretary of State Marco Rubio told reporters last week that Operation Epic Fury is over. The president notified Congress, "We are done with that stage of it," Rubio said during a White House briefing. Operation Epic Fury is concluded. We achieved the objectives of that operation. The 1973 War Powers Resolution requires the President notify Congress within 48 hours of the starting combat. If not, troops must either be withdrawn from 60 days or Congress must authorize the military action. Epic Fury's offensive combat operations were paused after 40 days of fighting. The Trump administration has argued that, given the pause, it has not reached the 60-day threshold. The US and Iran have exchanged fire in recent days as Iran has halted ship passage in the Strait of Hormuz, and Trump continues a blockade. Trump is still considering various options for reopening the strait and breaking the stalemate, as he expresses deep skepticism that diplomatic talks with Iran will succeed. On the last Sunday, Iran presented the US with its latest proposal to end the war through a mediator. Trump quickly denounced the plan on social media, writing in all caps that it was totally unacceptable. Speaking in the Oval Office on Monday, the president explained that one major sticking point in his insistence that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, and that now the ceasefire is unbelievably weak. "I could call it the weakest right now, after reading the piece of garbage they sent us. I didn't even finish reading it," They said, "I'm not going to waste any time regarding it. I would say it's one of the weakest right now," Trump said, adding, "I would say the ceasefire is a massive life support, where the doctor walks in and says, 'Sir, your loved one has approximately a 1% chance of living.'" China is the top purchaser of Iranian oil, and the US has accused Beijing of helping Iran target US assets in the Middle East during the war. In recent days, the Trump administration sanctioned some Chinese entities it accuses of providing Iran with satellite imagery to help Tehran target American forces. If Trump decides to begin another bombing campaign, the US military presence in the region is larger now than when Operation Epic Fury began in February, according to one of the officials and the third official. The US military brought in an additional carrier strike group and replaced and rearmed some of its assets used during the first 2 months of Operation Epic Fury. Thanks for watching. Stay with us.